The first freeze, when temperatures dip to 32 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Celsius, marks the true start of winter for many communities. It's more than just a number on the thermometer. It's a turning point in the year that signals a dramatic shift in the natural world around us. It's the moment when water turns to ice, transforming landscapes overnight. For gardeners and farmers, this is the unmistakable sign that the growing season has ended, and the race to protect crops and plants is on. Sensitive plants, summer flowers, and vegetables can be damaged or even killed by this sudden cold snap. Overnight, vibrant gardens can turn limp and brown, and months of hard work can be lost in a single frosty morning. That's why knowing your first freeze date is so important. It gives you a chance to protect your garden, harvest what you can, and prepare your home for the colder days ahead. The first freeze acts as a natural deadline, a reminder to cover delicate plants, insulate outdoor pipes, and make sure your furnace is ready to keep your home warm and safe. For farmers, this date is critical. An early freeze can mean big losses, wiping out crops that aren't harvested in time. Planning around the first freeze can make the difference between a successful season and a tough year. For everyone else, it's the cue to pull out warm coats, scarves, and gloves, and to prepare for those crisp, frosty mornings that make autumn so memorable. The first freeze isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a powerful signal that nature is shifting gears. Animals prepare for winter, trees shed their last leaves, and the world takes on a new, frosty beauty. It affects what we eat, what we wear, and how we live. From hearty soups and stews to thicker sweaters and boots, the first freeze shapes our routines and traditions. By tracking when the first freeze usually happens in your area, you can stay a step ahead of winter's challenges and make the most of the season's opportunities. It's all about being prepared, protecting your home, your garden, and yourself from the surprises that cold weather can bring. As fall deepens, keep an eye out for that first chilly morning when your breath hangs in the air and the world sparkles with frost. The first freeze is a key piece of weather wisdom for everyone, connecting us to the rhythms of nature in our communities. So, let's explore when you can expect the first freeze in your neighborhood and how you can be ready for the season ahead. Ready? Let's dive in. In the Northeast, places like Maine and Vermont can see their first freeze as early as late September. The air turns crisp and the landscape transforms almost overnight, with frost sparkling on the fields and trees. For many residents, this early chill signals the true arrival of autumn, bringing with it the anticipation of winter's approach. Gardeners and farmers in these regions keep a close eye on the forecast, knowing that a single cold night can end the growing season. Cities like Boston or New York usually hold off until late October or early November, thanks to urban warmth. The heat retained by buildings and pavement creates a protective bubble, delaying the first freeze. This urban effect means city dwellers often enjoy a few extra weeks of milder weather, while rural areas nearby may already be waking up to frosty mornings. Whether you're in the countryside or city, your freeze date can vary by weeks. Microclimates play a big role, with valleys and low-lying areas often freezing before hilltops. Even within a single town, some neighborhoods might see frost while others remain untouched, all depending on elevation, wind, and proximity to water. In the Midwest, northern states like Minnesota and North Dakota often freeze by late September. Here, the cold arrives swiftly, and the growing season is short. Farmers must harvest their crops quickly, racing against the inevitable frost that sweeps across the plains. Central Midwest areas, think Iowa and Illinois, see their first freeze in mid-October. The transition from warm autumn days to chilly nights can be sudden, catching some by surprise. These states experience a dramatic shift in weather, with temperatures dropping rapidly as the season changes. Further south, places like Missouri might not freeze until late October or November. The extra weeks of warmth allow for a longer harvest, and more time to enjoy the fall colors. But eventually, the cold catches up, and the first freeze marks the end of the growing season here as well. Just a few hundred miles can mean weeks of difference in weather. Traveling from north to south, you can experience autumn's progression in real time, watching as leaves change and temperatures drop at different rates. This variation makes the region's climate both fascinating and unpredictable. The Great Lakes delay the freeze for lakeside communities, sometimes by several weeks. The massive bodies of water act as natural heat reservoirs, releasing warmth slowly and keeping the surrounding air milder for longer. This effect is especially noticeable in towns right along the shoreline. Lake Michigan and Lake Erie keep nearby areas milder, creating unique microclimates. These lakeside regions often see later frosts and even occasional bursts of warmth well into the fall, making them stand out from the colder inland areas. So whether you're in a city, on a farm, or by a lake, your first freeze is shaped by location. The combination of geography, elevation, and proximity to water all work together to create a patchwork of freeze dates across the Northeast and Midwest. The Midwest's weather diversity is truly remarkable. From blustery winds on the plains to the calm, protected valleys, each area has its own story to tell when it comes to the changing seasons. Where you live makes all the difference. The first freeze is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a reminder of how connected we are to our environment, and how every region experiences the changing seasons in its own unique way. In the Rockies, elevation rules. Higher towns in Colorado or Montana can freeze as early as late August. Mountain weather is unpredictable. Even summer can bring a surprise frost. Lower valleys and cities like Denver or Boise usually see their first freeze in early to mid-October. The same state can have wildly different freeze dates depending on altitude. On the West Coast, the Pacific Ocean keeps coastal areas like San Francisco frost-free for much of the year. Some coastal spots may not freeze until December or January, if at all. Inland, away from the ocean's influence, first freezes arrive in November. The Central Valley of California and eastern Washington get colder sooner than the coast. Mountain ranges block the ocean's warmth, creating sharp contrasts. Just a short drive inland can mean a much earlier freeze. Geography shapes the West's freeze timeline. In the South, winter arrives gently. First freezes in Tennessee or North Carolina usually come in late October or early November. The air turns crisp, and a delicate frost dusts the fields and forests, transforming the landscape into a patchwork of gold and silver. Mornings are often shrouded in mist, and the countryside feels peaceful, as if pausing before the true cold sets in. The long growing season is a boon for gardeners and farmers. Even as the rest of the country braces for winter, southern fields remain productive, with vegetables like collards, turnips, and winter greens thriving in the mild climate. This extended season means more harvests and fresher produce well into the colder months. Further south, in Georgia or Mississippi, the first freeze might not hit until late November or December. Here, autumn lingers, and families enjoy outdoor activities long after northern states have bundled up for the season. The landscape stays green, and the air remains comfortable, making it a favorite time for festivals and gatherings. The deep south's warmth allows sensitive plants to thrive nearly year-round. Camellias bloom in winter, and Spanish moss sways gently from ancient oaks, creating a landscape that feels almost untouched by the cold. Gardeners here can grow subtropical plants that would never survive farther north. Along the Gulf Coast and in Florida, freezes are rare. Miami and the Keys can go years without one. Palm trees and tropical flowers flourish, and winter days are often spent outdoors, enjoying the sun and sea breezes. The region's subtropical climate draws visitors seeking warmth and relaxation. Warm ocean waters keep the air mild, creating a tropical paradise. The Gulf's influence is felt every day, with gentle breezes and balmy nights that make winter feel like a distant memory. Wildlife thrives in these conditions, and the beaches remain inviting year-round. Florida's citrus groves depend on this frost-free climate. Oranges, grapefruits, and lemons ripen under the winter sun, filling the air with their sweet scent. The state's economy and culture are deeply tied to these groves, which symbolize the promise of a gentle southern winter. Occasionally, a strong cold front brings a rare freeze to northern Florida, threatening crops. Farmers prepare by covering plants or running sprinklers to shield them from frost. These nights are tense, as a single freeze can mean the difference between a bountiful harvest and heavy losses. Even in the South, farmers stay alert for those unusual cold snaps. Vigilance and quick action are essential, as weather can change rapidly. The community comes together, sharing advice and resources to protect their livelihoods from the unpredictable chill. The Gulf's warmth is a shield, but surprises do happen. Coastal communities know to respect nature's power, even as they enjoy the region's gentle winters. The ocean's presence is both a comfort and a reminder of the delicate balance that shapes life here. For most, though, winter's chill is just a brief visitor. Life in the South and along the Gulf Coast moves at a relaxed pace, with outdoor gatherings, laughter, and the simple joy of sunshine in the heart of winter. Why does your garden freeze while your neighbor's doesn't? Elevation and location are key. Higher elevations are colder. Every 1,000 feet up drops the temperature by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. Cold air sinks into valleys, making them frost-prone, while hillsides stay warmer. This cold air drainage creates microclimates even within the same town. Open fields lose heat quickly, while trees act as a blanket, trapping warmth. South-facing slopes get more sun and stay warmer overnight. North-facing slopes cool down faster and freeze sooner. The landscape around your home, trees, hills, valleys, shapes your freeze date. Even the direction your house faces can make a difference. Local geography is a puzzle that determines when winter truly arrives. Your freeze date is as unique as your backyard. Cities stay warmer than the countryside thanks to the urban heat island effect. Concrete and asphalt absorb heat by day and release it at night, delaying the first freeze. Downtown areas can be several degrees warmer than nearby rural spots. All the buildings, cars, and activity generate extra warmth. Tall buildings block wind and trap heat, creating a mini climate. The result? City gardeners often get an extra week or more before frost hits. Even within a city, temperatures can vary between neighborhoods. Urban warmth stretches fall for city dwellers. Large lakes and oceans act as natural heaters, storing summer warmth and releasing it in fall. This delays the first freeze for nearby communities, sometimes by weeks. Cities like Chicago, right on Lake Michigan, freeze later than towns just miles inland. The bigger the body of water, the stronger the effect. Coastal California, Oregon, and Washington enjoy mild winters thanks to the Pacific. Onshore breezes bring warm, moist air, protecting against frost. These microclimates allow for longer growing seasons and unique crops. Living near water means a gentler transition to winter. The first freeze is arriving later each year, a clear sign of climate change. As global temperatures rise, autumn stretches longer and winter starts later. In places like Reno, Nevada, the average first freeze has shifted from late September to mid-October in just a few decades. This trend is seen across the U.S., from the Northeast to the West. Longer growing seasons can benefit gardeners, but they also disrupt natural cycles. Crops, plants, and animals rely on temperature cues. Shifting seasons can cause confusion. The later freeze is just one of many signs of a warming world. It's linked to hotter summers, extreme weather, and changing rainfall. Climate change is happening now, visible in our own backyards. The first freeze is a measurable reminder of this new reality. Want to know your local first freeze date? There are great resources to help. The National Weather Service offers detailed climate data for your area. The Old Farmer's Almanac has an online frost date calculator. Just enter your zip code. University extension programs provide region-specific advice for gardeners and farmers. Remember, these are averages. Actual freeze dates can vary year to year. Watch the 10-day forecast as fall deepens. When nights dip into the 30s, be ready. Cover sensitive plants, bring pots inside, and prep your home for cold snaps. Combine historical data with daily forecasts to stay ahead of winter. With a little planning, you'll never be caught off guard by the first freeze.